Today's date is May 9th, 2023, and the time is 10:39 a.m., and we're coming to you through Google Meets through video to the Lakeland Correctional Center. Ma'am, are you Rachel Shoaf with the DOC number 3573506 and a date of birth of June 10th, 1996?
Yes, sir.
And ma'am, my records indicate this is your first time up in front of the parole board on this charge. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
If you would please tell the board why you and your co-defendants committed this crime, please.
Well, honestly, sir, I don't think there's anything that I can say that's going to make any sense or make anybody feel any better. But I want to answer this as honestly as I can. But even as I say it, I feel like it sounds absurd and ridiculous. I realized that I was gay as an early teenager, and that scared me because I didn't know if I would get how the reaction would be from my family or church, things like that. And when I met Sheila and Skylar in high school, the relationship between Sheila and I was immediately very unhealthy and intense and obsessive. And there was like just this overwhelming infatuation. And there's no other way to explain it, but like it felt like life or death to me. And my 16-year-old teenage monstrous mind, it just felt like nothing could come between us. I'm sorry. Sorry. Whenever our relationship became more exposed, we feared what would jeopardize our relationship or jeopardize things like that. And I know this sounds absolutely ridiculous, but I just, in my mind, the only way I can explain it is in my mind at the time, it felt like so detrimental and so real in my teenage mind. And like I was in fact admitted into a psychiatric ward at one point because I felt there was an attempt to keep Sheila and I separated, and I actually wanted to kill myself over it. So in my mind, that's all that mattered. I think it just scared us, and thought of us having to be separated or not being together felt detrimental. And I just know that there's nothing that I can say that's going to give anybody any closure or answers. And I'm just incredibly sorry for what I've done, and Skylar didn't deserve for that to happen. There's never a good reason for something like this to happen, so there's never going to be anything I can say that's going to make sense.
So the board can be clear. You and your co-defendant, Miss Eddie, was in a relationship. Is that what you're trying to tell the board?
Yes, sir.
And you and Miss Eddie felt that if your relationship was exposed, then you would be separated, or you wouldn't be able to be with each other. Is that what you're trying to? I don't want to put words in your mouth, Ms. Shoaf. Is that what you're trying to get out to the board? So I'm trying to find a reason why you would commit this kind of crime. Okay, and that's why I'm asking these questions that I am. So, and Miss Neese, she knew about the relationship.
Yes, sir. I want to kind of correct this narrative that there was like this quick calculated thing that was done, and then we just went about our lives like everything was normal. Like we were terrified, and we were screaming and crying and vomiting and losing our minds over this whole situation, freaking out as soon as it happened. And I vividly remember us both, everything happened so fast, and as soon as it happened, us both saying aloud to each other, crying, like, what did we just do? What have we just done? Like, it was an immediate sense of, like, just intense pain and sorrow and remorse for what we did.
So whose idea was this to get Miss Neese to do what you did to Miss Neese? Whose idea was that? As you say a lot that it was you and Sheila. You just mentioned you and her a lot. You don't mention the three of you. So who brought this plan up? Excuse me. Who brought this plan up to commit this crime?
Sheila and I both. It was both of our conversations. We both played an equal part in this entirely. I know. I can't express enough how sorry I am for what I've done and the pain that I've caused Skylar's family and friends and those who loved her. I know what we did was terrible and horrendous, and there's no words to describe the pain that we've caused. And I know that I would give anything to trade Skylar places so that she could be with her family and her loved ones. And I would give anything to undo what we did and take it back. And I know that I deserve to be here and I deserve all of this. And I just hope they know how deeply and truly and genuinely sorry I am.
Do you feel like you deserve a chance at parole?
I wouldn't necessarily say that I think I deserve parole after what I've done. I would like to think that maybe I've earned it just because of what I've done, and not necessarily even my accomplishments, because even naming my accomplishments makes me feel guilty because I know that Skylar never even got to graduate high school. But just more so for the fact that I was so young and I was a teenager, and I don't even recognize the person that I was then. I was just so impulsive and immature, and I have grown mentally and spiritually and made more mistakes and learned from them and truly become a woman since I've been here.
Ma'am, when you planned this, you and your co-defendant planned this crime together. You told Mr. Hughes it was a joint decision, right?
Yes, sir.
And what was the objective of the plan? Was it to take this young lady's life?
Yes, sir.
So you planned to kill her, to murder her.
Yes, sir.
And what type of weapons did you have? Knives?
Yes, sir.
Where did you obtain those weapons?
From our parents' kitchen.
What happened after this crime occurred? Did you clean up, or you change clothes, or what did you do?
I just remember, I remember both of us being very scared and vomiting. We were crying, but we did change clothes and made an attempt to try to clean up. Yes, sir.
And what about the victim's body? What did you do with that?
We weren't able to dig anything, so we just tried to put her somewhere and cover her up, sir.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. That's all I have, Mr. Hughes.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Murphy, you have any questions, ma'am?
Then Board Chairperson Bonita Murphy asked something we'd been wondering. How exactly did Skylar threaten to out Rachel and Sheila?
The victim, did she ever, she threatened to tell, so what would be the result of her telling on you? What could have happened to you even if she had told on you?
I had to kind of unlearn all of those sort of archaic notions around being gay. But at the time, I was terrified of maybe getting kicked out of my house, or maybe getting kicked out of my church, or being shunned by the people that I loved, my family and friends. I was scared that my family or peers or whoever would try to keep Sheila and I separated. We were both scared of that. Because like I said, at the time, it felt like, in my young mind, like that crazy first love that would just, make you do things you wouldn't do.
But how long was it for you? You're the one that came through and confessed. How long was it after you killed the victim until you confessed?
It was about 6 months, ma'am.
Okay, so if you were so hysterical and upset, how in the world did you not tell somebody within that 6-month period and had everybody looking for this child? Why did it take you that long is my question.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I think that, I think we were just scared. But also, there is this narrative that I was perfectly fine afterwards, but my family, witnessed sort of I think publicly we tried to make it seem like everything was okay, but my family will tell you that as soon as this happened, I began acting out, and I was losing weight, and I was getting in trouble using more marijuana or drugs and things. I was trying to numb what had happened. I was getting in-school suspensions. I was getting kicked out of class or school because I was skipping class. I was getting in trouble. I was falling apart. I was self-harming and threatening to commit suicide. I jumped out of a moving vehicle. I was got admitted into a psych ward also because of my suicidal thoughts because of what happened. So there was a lot mentally that I struggled with and went through afterwards. And finally, when I went to the psych ward, I went to my lawyer's office and confessed because I just knew that I couldn't do this anymore to Skylar's family. When I went to the psych ward, was one of the first times that I was away from my co-defendant and away from all of the attention around it. And I finally sat with myself and was like, I can't keep doing this to this poor family that I've hurt. And I just knew what needed to be done at that point.
Okay, and so you did admit during this hearing that your co-defendant got first degree life with mercy, and that you both are equally responsible for the crime?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's all I have.